streamed over on my Twitch channel, which I'll re-upload to YouTube. So this is a quick game, guys. Just going to go ahead and pump a quick review out. I want to go ahead and thank the developer and publisher Sam Galali for offering me a free evaluation key of this retro action arcade shooter game. And he said it retains the fun, addicting aspects of those arcade games, also adding on new awesome features such as challenges, skins, and a worldwide leaderboard. Pretty common for any games like this on Steam nowadays. So it definitely looks like it has the retro graphics. It comes in at a price tag of, I think, $3 with a discount. Yeah, $2.99 with a 15% discount the first week here. And it is this developer's first... Ignore my son in the background playing a game with his friend. But it is the first game on Steam. And yeah, you can definitely hear the retro sound effects coming in there. And it looks like it might be fun. I don't know. We'll see. So if there is somebody that would know if this is a good game or not, it would probably be me. I've played a lot of these kind of games over the years on Steam. I feel like I have like 700 reviews on Steam, and I feel like at least like 50 of them are games something like this. At least 50. So we come down here, guys. We see the initial reviews that it has today. This is a little bit scary. We see a bunch of accounts with like 1 or 2 reviews. I'm not saying that that means it's fake reviews, but it doesn't hold a lot of promise. At least my review here will come from somebody that's at least heard of or known, with over 700 reviews and a ton of those reviews right there on my YouTube channel. So let's go ahead and take out and find out if Space Battle Arena is worth your $3 or not, especially if you're an old school retro space game fan. Is this game worth the $3, or is there, can you do a lot better on Steam? That's what we hope to find out. So let's go ahead and launch the game, guys. And again, I want to go ahead and thank Sam Galli for offering me a free evaluation of this Unity game as we open it up here. Let me go ahead and capture this in game capture on my OBS. We'll be right back. Alright, so I just want to go ahead and make it noted that the executable file for this game is called Space Royale, all one word. It's spaceroyale.exe, not Space Battle Arena. That might be the original name that he was planning on calling it here. I'm going to take a look at the options. Yeah, we don't need a resolution that big for a game like this. We can, I think 1900 by 1080 is fine. Graphics high, medium, or low. Volume, let's turn the volume down just a little bit here. And we'll go full screen, it's fine. It looks like you get some money up here as well. You have the leaderboard. Okay, so somebody's already got 1.8, almost 1.9 million points in the game. And it shows what? Oh, what the hell? Okay, I guess I can... If I take the slider and try to slide it down, it doesn't work. I guess we can go up like that. Okay, there we go. But 22. It has 22 user scores already. Okay. All right. And notice that somebody also had named themselves COVID. Let's see if we can beat COVID. Let's see if we can play this game enough to beat COVID. Because ultimately, that's what we want to do, right? We want to... Oh, 7. Not COVID-19, but COVID-20, right? 132,000. That's our goal, guys. We want to beat COVID. 132,000. Can we do that? We'll see. So customize. So you probably got to earn all this stuff. Okay. Challenges. Get 1,000 kills in one game. Reward retro. Reward neon. Get 100k score in one game. You don't select them or anything like that. That's just our current challenges, it looks like. That's kind of cool. And then here we can shop. We can use coins we earn in the game to buy different ships and stuff, it looks like. And that looks like a power-up or something. And then, oh wow, there's lots of pages of different stuff we can get. Cool. Alright. I like all that. And then it looks like we also keep stats on our total kills. And our score and most points and all that. Alright. Well, let's see what we got here, guys. Then there is no controller support. It doesn't say that on Steam anyway. It doesn't say that this game is even partially controller supported. So you do have to play with the mouse and keyboard. And then it doesn't look like there's any way to... Oh! I know we changed this resolution back down to 1920 by 1080. Why is it not keeping that? There's no way to apply it here. Back? Oh, okay. It kept it that time. Alright. I thought we found a bug, but... Alright, good. Alright, multiplier 1 times. Cool. Whoa. How do I fire? Oh, space, duh. So it is, I am using A and S right now for WASD, for example. Alright, so how do I move? Probably W to thrust. Okay, let's play again. Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, no, I don't like this. I don't like space games where you just use WASD like this to move. This is horrible. Like, I feel like you should rotate and thrust forward. I've played a couple of games like this, and I guess some people might like it. You know, like a simpler version of just move where you want and turn where you want. But, I mean, I can get used to it, I guess, but... Continue to main menu. Play. Alright. Try this again. Yeah, I don't... This is such a simple movement system for a space game like this. I also don't like how these enemies are just popping in out of, like... instead of coming in from the screen, guys, like from the outside, they just pop in randomly anywhere. That's not good. Like, I made a space game like this. I made my own version of Asteroids, and, you know, I didn't make stuff just like enemies that would pop in. They would, spawn on the outside of the screen, so you couldn't see when they popped in. Because that looks really bad, right? And your ship is so big here, too. It's really hard to maneuver here. Get some health. We get some health. I mean, this isn't horrible, but it just feels really... It feels really, amateur. And I know that this developer probably hasn't made a whole lot of games. But, I mean, you can look at this, guys, and tell this doesn't look like... It's gotta look cheap. Just because of the way the controls are. The way that I'm facing up and I'm just moving down. I mean, does that look right? That doesn't even look right. You know, so to the developer, I mean, come on, man. You gotta put a little more work into this than what you got here. Also, your ship is so big. I mean, these are just sprites. I kind of doubt that he even made these sprites. I kind of believe that he just... I mean, it does work, yeah. I mean, it works, but it just doesn't feel good. It's responsive, but it doesn't feel right. If you've grown up on, like, these kind of games, then you would know that this just feels awful. You can't use the mouse, so not being able to use left mouse to fire is also, like... It feels like shit. It just doesn't feel right. So, just as I kind of suspected... You know, and I hate to the developer that you gave me a key for this and I'm going to end up trashing it. But, again, you can do much better on Steam than this. I mean, there's so much wrong with this game. The sound effects are good. The retro sound effects are good. The graphics are fine. But the way you move around just doesn't feel good at all. You should be having your ship rotate and then thrust forward. Much like any other retro game like this. I guarantee you if this game would have came out like this back in the 1980s, it would have got trashed. People would have laughed at this because it doesn't feel like a legit space game. Just wrong. You can't just take the most simple controls for like a zombie. Like, you know, this would be something you would make if you had a guy and all these were zombies and you're running around a field. Sure, then use WASD. But to just use WASD and move around like this and rotate... In a space game, doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't feel right. It just feels lazy. That's what it feels like. It feels lazy. And also, your enemy is just spawning in randomly everywhere. Feels lazy. The fact that there's so many enemies on the screen, and they're just kind of moving, and none of them are shooting at you or anything. None of them... let me see if any of them explode or anything. Do we even have any explosions or anything? Let's see. Right. Okay, so we do have one really basic explosion. We have the yellow circle that kind of expands out. Rather than, you know, actually making a legit animation of each character, you know, maybe exploding into parts or something like that. Which really wouldn't take that long. It wouldn't take very long to also have each different sprite have its own explosion. You know, the yellow and green ones maybe falling apart and blowing up into a lot of different yellow and green parts, and the red ones, you know, exploding into red parts. We have a big, I mean, I like what he's trying to do here, the power-ups and stuff like that, but the main problem with this game is just the controls. They just, again, you know, I like the countdown, and I like your health, stuff like that, but the fact that you're pointing up and move down like that, at the same speed as you move up, I mean, it just feels and looks wrong. And these characters, these enemies just choose it looks like they're choosing just a 90-degree angle and moving so far. So it's kind of like they don't I guess they do pick a direction. A lot of them are picking directions. But, I mean, just look at the way the enemies are moving. And it just, I don't know, none of them are homing in on me. None of them are choosing to actually chase me or anything like that. They're just all kind of randomly moving. And they're randomly popping in everywhere. Yeah, this is an extremely lazy, this is an extremely rushed game. I mean, for your first game, to the developer, if this is your first game that you've ever actually completed, I mean, a huge congratulations to you on completing your first game. But this is certainly not something that's worthy of $3 on Steam. It's really, to be honest, with the controls like it is, that's not worth anything. This is a game that should be up on itch.io for free to get feedback like the feedback I'm giving you right now. So to the developer, you've made some good things here. You've made some cool power-ups and stuff like that. You have the right idea. However, for a space game, you really need to change these controls because just this looks and feels wrong. I wonder if you've ever played a retro shooter in your life, or you're just trying to cash in on the retro feel. Like, have you ever played a game like this in your life? Have you ever played Asteroids? If so, you know, then you would know that this whole control system is flawed, big time. So, again, a question I asked to the developer, have you made a game that you yourself want to play? Is this the retro shooter that you yourself would play over so many other space games like this on Steam right now? And if you were honest with yourself, I think you would choose a different space shooter over the one you've created here. But please don't take this to heart. I mean, this is, you know, if you actually coded all this yourself and didn't just take an asset kit or something like that, then congratulations to you, you know, for actually doing the coding to make a working game. Just because it doesn't work the way that I would envision it or the way that I would do it, doesn't mean that you don't deserve props for that. So if you actually did code all this, you went and found each sound for the explosion, you know, you found these sprites and you chose what, you know, how to randomly choose them to move in a direction, stuff like that, then that's all great. It's a great start. But again, this game as it is not worthy of $3 on Steam. It's too simple. The AI is too simple. The explosions are too simple. The sound effects are fine. The graphics themselves look fine. They look retro. But you need to put in a little more work, especially in the player control system. And you also need to do things like give the player, you know, controller support. Things like that. So I like the fact that you've actually put in Steam leaderboards into your game. That shows that you have the potential to make this into something good. So I would like to see the developer rework this game and make it worth $3. That's what I would like to see, and I think it can be done. So again, find a better system rather than just WASD to move your ship around. I would choose a thrusting system like Asteroids used to have. Play my own rock and roll on Steam that I launched about a little over 3 years ago. It's available on Steam. Play that. See how you move around in that. Yes, it's harder to control, but it feels a lot better once you do get used to it. It looks a lot better. It looks a lot more realistic, and it's just more retro. You know, than something like what you've got here. The fact that you can certainly still do that, and you know, one thing that people would probably love if I changed rock and roll is the ability to just rotate wherever their mouse is, point wherever your mouse is. I like that. You could definitely keep that, but I would introduce a system where if you hit W, you move whatever direction you're facing. That would make this game way better. Then you need to do other things too, as far as I would lower the number of enemies on the screen, especially in level 1. This is too many enemies. So get rid of at least half of these enemies, and also make them spawn in on the outside and then move out. So make every enemy spawn off screen and then move on to the screen on a certain particular path. Also, if you want to make the game harder because you're lowering the number of enemies, make the enemies randomly shoot. Maybe they just shoot in a random direction, or maybe they actually try to fire at you, so you got to keep moving to keep from getting hit. So those are some simple things you could do to make this game a lot better. So hopefully this developer listens to my feedback. If you want my help, you know, I'm more than happy to get on a voice call with you or whatever to better help you make your game better. But right now I can't recommend this game. And I also feel like you're probably having your friends or you're paying for fake reviews on this game. So if you're doing that, please don't, because you're just going to get yourself banned off the Steam platform. Looks like you might have some potential here. Let's see if you take my feedback to heart. See if you decide that you want to turn this really simple game that feels lazy. See if you actually have the desire to put in the effort to make this a good game. Right now, this isn't worth anything. This should be a free game over on itch.io.com. This game's not even worth 99 cents as it is. But with a little bit of work and a little bit of effort to the developer, you can definitely make this game worth the $3 price tag you want. That's my review, guys. As it is right now, I do want to go ahead and thank you for watching this. If you watch the full review, let me know down in the comments below, because I'm going to re-upload this over to my YouTube channel. This game could be great with a little bit more work and some actual effort and thought put into the game, rather than just rushing up with simple controls for a retro space game. It doesn't feel retro, it just feels cheap as it is right now. So there you go, guys. My score as it is a 1 out of 10. I will give it 1 out of 10 because what is here works in the most basic form, but it's definitely a not recommend as it is. Again, I challenge the developer to take his first game on Steam to heart and want to make it good. I'm more than willing to help him for free. So if the developer wants to reach out to me, I'm more than happy to give him my experience, my creativity, whatever it takes to help make his game a success. Maybe not a success, because this kind of game is really saturated on Steam. Can't really promise him success, but I can promise him that his game will be a lot better if he wants to listen to my ideas. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. This has been Zaxtorian, and I take care, everybody.